welcome back to my channel. My name is Hope and this is Mission Keto, and today's video you're not gonna wanna miss. It is my meal prep video, and this is meal prepping for my challenge for myself this year, which is 20 total carbs every day until I reach my goal weight. So quick story about me. I started keto in like 2017, lost all the weight that I wanted to lose, and as you can see, I have gained it back. So I'm gonna do it right this time. I'm gonna lose this weight again, do it the right way. Well, I did it the right way last time, but I'm going to learn how to maintain it once I get there. So I hope you join along and see how I managed to do it, how quickly it comes off, or how slowly. It all depends. But so today's video is meal prepping. I love to meal prep. I've been doing it whether I've been on keto or not. I always kind of like to have a plan, have things ready to go in the fridge, in the pantry, that kind of thing. My very first thing that I do is I always make a list. What am I gonna achieve today? So the first thing I'm doing is tonight for dinner, we're gonna have the Cuban sandwich casserole. It's actually mine. I don't make a whole lot of recipes on my own. Every once in a while I'll come up with something. Just so happens that two things today that I'm making are things that I have made. But these I'm very proud of. And I have not made the Cuban sandwich casserole in a long time, and it is very, very low carb because most of it is just cheese and meat and mustard. So I think the only thing that's carbs in it is pickles, which this is definitely doable, and it's just delicious. So we're gonna get the pork butt ready in the crock pot. I've got that ready going over there. We're gonna get that going. That's gotta cook all day, so that'll be what I finish up at the end. I'm making, the other thing that is kind of mine, I've kind of made it my own over the years, is the BLT dip. It is the most simple, 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients is all you need. You need bacon, you need mayonnaise, you need sour cream, and you need tomatoes. That's it. It's a great dip. We use it, you know, honestly, we had this before keto, and those pita chips are the very best thing to dip it in. But we're not doing pita chips. So you can use pork rinds. You can do veggies like cucumbers or celery. You can make your own like Parmesan crisp chips. I'm gonna try to get to those today. I'm not sure if I will. But so many things. You could even have it be like a layer of something if you're making a sandwich or something. That would be really delicious too. But there's just something about this. I think the bacon makes it. And when it's really cold in the fridge, it's just delicious. But I'm going to be making that because that's actually a good lunch also. Super low carb also. So doing that, if you've been around for a while, you know I love pork belly, and I get it at Costco, and we like to chop it up into little tiny bite-sized pieces, fry it up. It kind of resembles bacon in a way, and that's just a great snack that is 0 carb to have, but it goes very fast. That's the only thing, is like we all love it and we all want to eat it. For another lunch this week that I'm going to be making for me and my daughter Jessica, because she's doing the total carb journey with me, is the sausage cabbage Alfredo, and I can't wait to try that. So I saw this on Instagram and it just looked so delicious, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and try that and just have it be like for a lunch during the week. We could like split it up into 4, 2 for her, 2 for me, 2 for her, 2 for me. Yeah, that's where my brain is. So I'm gonna make that. And then last but not least, I'm thinking I need some kind of a dessert to get me through. And I love cheesecake, and I found a recipe for cheesecake bites that I'm gonna try. And how they make it is they put it inside the muffin tin, and it's pretty big. It's only 4 total carbs for that, and I'm like, that's great. I like to get more bang for my buck a lot of times, so I'm gonna try to do it in the mini tins and cut them in half. So I'm gonna get twice as much, and then I eat less. So that still brings me to like 2 total carbs eating those. So we'll see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, then I'll just go with the other one. But I'm excited to try that. So yeah, that is my goal, 20 total carbs every single day. I hope you enjoy watching this, and I'll show you everything at the end. I might do little things like prep my veggies, things like that, that you guys don't need to see, but you'll see the entire spread of everything that I do at the end of this. And you know what, if you're new to meal prepping or whatever, start slow. Maybe just pick cleaning up your veggies, you know, separating things into snack bags for you, portion control, and maybe just make one lunch and have it for the week, you know, spread it out into meal prep containers. Just start small. It really doesn't take much. This just happens to be something that I love to do. And I love sharing it with you guys. So at the very end, let me know what you think looks the most delicious, what you guys might try. I can't wait, and let's get started. Oh my gosh, I need a new ring light. Look at this. I've got this little tiny ring light that I'm using because I broke my larger one, so I've got to get a new one, and I feel like I've like all shaded on my face, or I've been beat up or something, but sorry. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna be making today is the pork roast. We're going to be cooking this all day in the crock pot, and this is gonna be for the Cuban sandwich casserole. We're actually gonna be making it for dinner tonight. This was about a 4-pound roast, and basically you can just put whatever you want in it to get like your Cuban pork flavors. I used, let's see, some cumin. I used some cumin, some thyme, I actually put a little cinnamon in it too. I thought that would be good. I'm gonna put some bay leaves in. I haven't done that yet. I did put some lime in there, squeezed the juice out of it, and just threw the whole thing in there just to keep the flavor going. Some garlic powder. I did put some minced garlic in, some onion powder, and some smoked paprika. So you can do however you want, whatever, you know, spices that you want. I just throw it in here and cook it all day until it is completely tender, and it just falls apart tender. It is so delicious. When I did my collab with Erica with Time to Shrink, she actually made this and loved it, said it was delicious, but she actually seared her pork first. So that's another option for you. I've never done it that way. I'm meal prepping today, so I really don't have the time. Sometime I will though, because it does sound like it would be really good, but this is delicious just the same. If you don't have the time to sear it, you don't have to. It tastes just as good, I'm imagining, because that's how I'm doing it, and it is delicious. So just another thought there, but we're gonna cook this. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Right now it's 9 o'clock, so I'll check in throughout the day while I'm doing my other meal prep, and we'll see about how long it takes. All right, so we're back. You saw that I got the pork butt roast in the crock pot ready to go for our dinner tonight. And now we're gonna make this BLT dip. So simple, the ingredients. First, you're gonna need 1 cup of mayonnaise. And yes, this is a large thing of mayo. You need 1 cup of sour cream. You need to chop up a tomato, but I'm gonna use these because I don't want them to go bad, but these will be just fine. And then you need an entire pound of bacon. Now, how I like to do it for the BLT dip is I chop the bacon up raw and then cook it in a skillet. You can also cook your bacon however you want and then crumble it up into little pieces. So it just depends on what's easier for you. I find that when I'm just making this bacon-wise, that is a lot easier for me. So, fun fact, if you did not know, this video I have made before of it was just the, what do you call it? Just the BLT dip. It was my very first YouTube video of me cooking. It's when I decided to start, you know, showing keto stuff, and this was 2019, I believe it was. So it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a lot of hard work, I'll tell you, but this was my first video, and yeah, so I thought I'd share it again because I know I have a lot of new subscribers, so hello and welcome. And you know, you're not gonna binge watch all of the old stuff, right? I'll have it linked for you if you want. I think I linked it in my grocery haul video too. But yeah, that is my first video, which I think is exciting because it is delicious. I will tell you, it is delicious. So that's the extent of that. First, you mix all of that together. I'm really weird about making sure I get everything off of the spoons and stuff, so just, you know, bear with me. Then you're gonna mix some tomatoes in here, and honestly, you just chop what you think you would want. I don't know. I think I want them in smaller pieces because I make them, if I were to cut like a regular medium-sized tomato, it would be like, you know, small chunks. So I'm gonna cut them in quarters, I guess. But here's another fun fact too, is if you've been watching for a while, you know my husband Andy doesn't like tomatoes, and whenever I make this, I have to make it without tomatoes, just a tiny little bit. When he was on keto with me, I would make him his own batch. I'd make 2 batches, one for me and one for him, and his would have no tomatoes in it. But now he's not really doing it. I just cut into my nail. So I'm just gonna give him this little tiny bit right here for him to have, because that's how much he loves it too. I think this would be really good in like lettuce wrap bowls too. You know, those little lettuce cups. Throwing this in there, and you could even, gosh, there's so many possibilities really. But let's try that and see how it goes. But like I said, since I'm giving a little bit to Andy, let's just mix the bacon in first. And I'm making this now because I want it to set in the fridge and get really cold. It is so good when it is cold. This is a dip that everyone is gonna love. We would make this every time, like when we weren't on keto, this is something, a staple that I would have on our little buffet table when you have all your appetizers and stuff out. This is something that everybody loved, and it would be gone. And that's it. You would think you'd need some seasonings and stuff, but you really don't. So let me put a little bit in here for Andy. You know, they say happy wife, happy life, but I think the same goes for your husband too. Okay, so now let's put these tomatoes in and see where we're at. I used to make this and prep it, and it would be my lunches for the week. I would put either cucumber or my Parmesan chips or celery and split it like into 4s, you know, and then that would be 4 lunches for the week. And yeah, I think this is good. This is a good amount. So that's all there is to it. This is my BLT dip. I'm gonna stick it in a smaller container like this with the lid and stick it in the fridge. And yeah, I'll show it to you at the end. And I'll probably taste it because it's so good too. But yeah, there's the BLT dip. Okay, we're back, and I'm gonna prep the pork belly for kind of to show you real quick. But here's something that I love to do too, is mark off what I've done already. Look at that. Woo-hoo. I only have a couple more things to make. This is very quick. I'm just gonna briefly show you one of these, how I chop it up. You can do it however you want, obviously, but it can be a little time consuming because I like the bites to be really small. So it can take a few minutes, but I'm telling you right now that this right here is worth everything because it is so delicious. So basically, yeah, you're just cutting it into bite-sized pieces, just like this. And then once that's done, you throw it in your skillet. You don't need anything else because it's gonna render its own fat just like bacon. Throw it in your skillet, and then we're gonna cook it. It does take a few minutes to cook, I'm not gonna lie, but it depends on how crispy you like it. I like mine to be very crispy. Andy likes it medium, so I'll kind of show you throughout the stages what it looks like. I don't wanna spend a lot of time on it because it's pretty simple, but I at least wanted to give you an idea for all the newbies. Okay, so here we are about halfway through cooking the pork belly, and you can kind of see it takes a little while. It's probably already been about 10 minutes. It'll probably be another 15 to 20 for me because I like it crispy, but you can kind of see just how it looks. It's you saw how it looked before when I was chopping it, but it just slowly starts browning up. And yeah, I keep stirring it too because as you can see, there's some parts that are already browning up. So you just stir it to get it evenly browned up, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. All right, we're back, and we're gonna make the sausage and cabbage Alfredo. And this was something that I saw basically on like an Instagram reel. So it was really fast. I've written everything down. It sounds like it's just super easy. Throw it together. Definitely not as quick as the reel, but you're basically just gonna slice up your cabbage, and we're gonna add all the ingredients in except for 2 of them, but it looks like it's gonna make it into like noodles. See how it's already falling apart? Which that's what I'm really liking about it. So you're gonna add some cream cheese. I'm just gonna kind of separate it. And this is how he did it. I'm hoping that it all kind of mixes together as it softens. And then a bunch of butter too, because, well, and I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese and the grass-fed butter that I got from Costco. It's their brand, the Kirkland one. Here, let me show you guys. It's that one. It's basically Kerrygold, but the Kirkland brand. And I will have the recipe for everything that I'm making. I'll have all that stuff down below in the description box too. Then you need heavy whipping cream. So see, remember how I told you we go through heavy whipping cream? We're already on our second carton that we got from Aldi. Now I'm just being careful because I don't want to make a mess of this, because I've been known to do that. So I'm just kind of spreading it out as best as I can. We got the butter, got the cream cheese. Parmesan's gonna go on at the end, and so is the sausage, but you want a little bit of onion powder. I'm gonna heavily season because I feel like too many times I don't, you know, and I always regret it. So I'm gonna do some salt. This is pink Himalayan salt. And then some freshly cracked ground black pepper, which I love. Okay, and I think that's it. We got the onion powder. Oh, we need a little bit of minced garlic too. How much do I need? A tablespoon. Look at that, there's a tablespoon. Okay, so just kind of throw it around, I guess. All right, this is gonna go into a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I'm gonna also cook the sausage now. You need some sausage. I'm gonna brown this up. I'm actually gonna brown it up in my pan that I cooked my bacon in earlier. Just, you know, instead of cleaning it, might as well use that grease and make it super flavorful. So, yeah, I will show you what it looks like when we bring it out, and then we'll add the sausage. Okay, so we have got the cabbage mixture out of the oven, and I don't know if it looks that good on camera, but to me, it looks delicious. But look how everything has softened up. The butter obviously has melted. The cream cheese is totally melted as well, but look at this, oh my gosh, or softened. So I'm just doing a quick little stir. Oh, I'm thinking this is gonna be delicious. We're gonna cook it a little longer too. Looks like I left a couple of big chunks of like the bulb or the stem. So just, you know, learn from me. Make sure you're cutting off all of the hard parts. Yeah, there's a couple here, but I can cut that out later. I don't really cook with cabbage a lot, so this is kind of new to me, but I'm really digging how this is turning out. And I was just sitting here thinking too, I'm like, you know, you could really put some hot sauce in this, some chili pepper flakes, really make it your own, put your own flavors in it. But so here's that. We're not done. Now we're gonna add our protein, which is some sausage. Oh my goodness. This looks so good. Give me a thumbs up if you think this looks delicious. I mean, I guess you gotta like cabbage. But like I said, I'm not even the hugest fan of cabbage. I like corned beef and cabbage, yum. That is one of my favorite things, which made me just think I need to maybe make that, because that could be keto. But this is looking really good because it's got all that creamy goodness going on. So then it says to add some Parmesan cheese and go to town. I mean, this is less than a carb for the shredded stuff. I'm gonna put the grated stuff as well. This is 0 carb, so this is supposed to make quite a few servings too. And then the other thing I'm gonna do is add some of these bacon crumbles. Look what happened when I opened it. When I tried to rip it here, it ripped the whole bag open. So I'm gonna have to move this into a different container. But this is from Costco. As you can see, it was $8.99. But this is something I'm using specifically for things like this, when I don't wanna use up all my bacon, you know, that I bought and cook that up or whatever. I've kind of got this handy and ready to go. So, boy, that really looks good. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the shredded on top. So we're gonna put this back in the oven for a few more minutes. I hope that you guys are sticking with me. I know these meal prep videos can be a little bit longer, but let's stick it in the oven. Okay, here's the final product. Look at that cheesy, creamy goodness. Oh my goodness, this looks delicious. So I'm gonna take a quick bite because I just can't resist, but normally you're gonna wanna let this cool. And remember, cut off the hard pieces of the cabbage. I didn't do that, so, but lesson learned. It's not gonna stop me from, you know, making it or eating it. But we're gonna let it cool, and then I'm going to divvy it up into little lunch bags or lunch containers, and we'll go from there. But let me get a little bit of cheese too and bacon. Oh my gosh, and it's all falling off. It's like, no, wait, don't eat me. Let's see how good it is. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is a winner. Delicious. Total carbs per serving is 6.8. You could probably lower that too, depending on the type of sausage that you got, but your cheeses are very minimal. Cabbage, that's good carbs to me. I think the sausage is probably the thing that has the most in it. Oh, and you got your cream cheese and heavy cream. It's supposed to make 10 servings. I'll be quite honest, I'm not sure that this is gonna be 10 servings. So it might be a little bit of a higher carb count if you don't get 10 servings out of it. I did use a little bit less sausage than it called for also. But everything else was right on. So yeah, I'm gonna let it cool and then I'll divvy it up and you'll see everything at the end. All right, we're back and we're gonna make our keto mini cheesecake bites now. And I was gonna make them in the little mini tins, but I couldn't find my mini tin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this one. This makes 12, which will still be plenty. And I'll just have a whole one, yes. So let's see, we're gonna make the crust first and you need some almond flour. I will make sure, this is definitely going to be down below for you guys to make it as well. And then you need some granular sweetener. The only one I have is this Lakanto golden one, but it should work just fine. It's gonna do the same job, right? So you need 3 tablespoons of that. And then basically you're just going to mix it together and we're gonna put it in the muffin tins as a crust. So let's do that real quick. I can't wait for this, honestly. Delish. Who doesn't love cheesecake? I don't know. I don't think I know anybody that doesn't. And if they don't like it, then, you know, they cannot be trusted. And again, these are only 4 total carbs per cheesecake bite. So I'm so excited about these. They have to cool in the fridge too for a few hours. So we still have plenty of time. I can still have some for tonight. But here, let's put a little, let me do 1. And so basically you're just going to press it down into the muffin cup. And that's gonna be your crust. It did say to put muffin liners, cupcake liners in there. I didn't have any, so I just sprayed it. Let's just cross our fingers that that will be good enough and they lift out of here okay. But that's that. I won't show you all of them. I'm gonna make the rest of them and then we'll make the filling. Okay, so I jumped ahead a couple of spots and I've mixed up the cream cheese filling for you to see. It is just a block of cream cheese, an egg, a 1/4 cup of powdered sweetener, and I just used Swerve. It's what I have, not my favorite, but that's okay. 1/4 cup of sour cream and some vanilla extract. So then it says to just put it in evenly. It says about 2 tablespoons per muffin tin. So there you go. Yeah, that looks about right. So I'm gonna fill them all up. Then we're gonna stick them in the oven for about 20 minutes, preheated at 350 degrees. So I will show you what it looks like when they come out. All right guys, so we are on the very last thing. We're making the Cuban sandwich casserole now. I've got that 4-pound pork butt roast and I have shredded it, taken all the yucky pieces of fat off of it. And now basically all you need is you're gonna layer it with sliced ham, some Swiss cheese, and mustard, and then definitely some pickles. And you can basically do this however you want, in whichever way you wanna layer it. I had a subscriber, Jessie, hi Jessie, just let me know that she likes to put dill relish on it, which I thought was a great idea. The only reason I won't do that is because, you know, you guys know Andy doesn't like pickles. So I think it would just be easier to have separate pickles on here. But he does like, how weird is this? I don't like pickles, but I like the pickle juice, the flavor that it gives, you know, the Cuban sandwich. So yeah, go figure. I don't know. I still love them, but you know. Here we go. So I'm gonna put down, I've noticed every time I make it, I change it up just a little bit more, but I put some mustard down first. Now we're gonna put some ham down. And again, you can put as much or as little as you like. This is pretty thick cut. I think I'm just gonna use one package. I bought 2 because I just wasn't sure, you know, how it was going to look once I opened it up because it was like pre-cut from Aldi. So just kind of putting it in the little corners and crevices here. And in fact, I'm gonna put a little bit of pickle juice down around the edges too, because you want that to kind of get into the meat. Then we're gonna throw on some Swiss cheese. And I got 2 packs of that too because I wasn't really sure how much that pork was gonna make. Sometimes when I buy the big pork butt, it is enough to make 2 casseroles, but this one was just a 4-pound one and it was only enough for 1, which is fine. But if I had extra, I was definitely going to make another one and stick it in the freezer. I have frozen this before and it freezes just fine. You don't cook it, you just make it and then you stick it in the freezer and then sit it out when you want to use it that day and then stick it in the oven. I cook it at 350 for however long until it gets bubbly. We'll just throw that on there as well. Now I can't remember if I put the mustard or the pickles on first, but again, it really doesn't matter. And you know what? Once it's done, I even put more mustard on at the end because this kind of cooks up but here we go. We're just going to now just layer pickles. And you know, I've got people here that are not doing keto right now, and so they can even throw all of this on bread or a wrap, and it's like they're having it as a sandwich. But I will say this, you really don't need the bread. This actually gives you so much flavor. It's so delicious. Let me know if you try it. I have had a few people that have tried it and it makes me so happy. It's so exciting when someone makes something that you have kind of come up with. This was actually Andy's idea because a couple of years ago now, we did a couple of videos where we were doing a challenge, who can make the best this or who can make the best that. And it was a lot of fun. And we made our own Cuban sandwiches, but with like fathead dough. He used low carb wraps, and that's what came about. We were like, we didn't really want the carbs that were involved with the low carb wraps and the fathead dough. So this was like another option. Ooh, I don't want that one in there. And this is how we came up with that. And those videos are hilarious, by the way. So make sure you go check that out. I think it's a playlist. It's who made the best or food challenge videos or something like that. But it looks kind of funny. I don't put any pickles over here, like I said, because Andy doesn't like them, but I'm gonna pour a little bit more of the juice just all around, because there is nothing wrong with having a little bit of that running through there. So we're gonna stick this in the oven for about, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes so the cheese gets bubbly and everything. And I'll show you this, and I'll show you everything that I made at the end. We're almost done. All right, so here is everything that I meal prepped today. As you can see, I took the Cuban sandwich casserole out and it is bubbly and cheesy and delicious. Can't wait to dig into that. So the first thing that I did is I actually weighed out these pork rinds for dipping of the BLT dip, and same with the cucumbers and the celery. I did get a new digital scale, so I'm trying to keep control of my portion control. So I did that with these things so we would have them ready to go. And then here is the BLT dip. It's been in the fridge all day. So delicious. Can't wait to dig into that. And then I got 6 portions out of that sausage cabbage Alfredo, and that's what that looks like. How good does that look? And I think that looks like a normal size portion. I know it was saying 10 comes out of that, but again, that's what I got. And so that'll feed Jess and I like 3 times this week. I'm excited about that. Here's something else I'm excited about. Here are the Keto mini cheesecake bites. These look so delicious. They came out perfectly. Each one is exactly the same. It filled out exactly 12 of those muffin tins, and they came out fine. So if you don't have the muffin tin liners, or the muffin liners, the paper liners like I didn't, just spray your muffin pans and you'll be fine. So those are gonna sit in the fridge and cool off so I can have one for dessert tonight. And then here's the pork belly that I made. I'll give you a better look at it. Once it's done though, you can see it shrinks down a lot, but you have this yummy, crunchy snack that is completely 0 carbs. So very excited about that. So that is what I meal prepped for today. If you liked this video, please make sure you hit the like button. Let me know down below what you're most excited about trying. And if you do try something, let me know. Head over to Instagram. Make sure you're following me over there because I do post a lot of stuff on there. Post a little bit more about what I'm eating on a day-to-day basis. And my next video will be a what I eat in a day. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.